Hi everyone, this is Kelly with Kelly Ann Crafts. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in McKinney, Texas, and these are my July cards. This is such a great set that we're going to be working with. It's out of our annual catalog, and what's really nice is the annual catalog is going to give you a number of examples of what you can do with this beautiful set. And let me just show you this. And I'm just going to make sure I've got it in the camera. Um, but this is the page that's really, I think, the best because it gives you a number of different examples to choose from on how you can use this set. The set has beautiful paper with with an embossing folder, and here again is a few things that you could do with it. So today we're going to be using the paper from this set. It's Kintsugi, and we're going to be using the paper that, like I said, which is Inspiring Imperfections, is the stamp set, but the paper is Kintsugi Inspirations. So Kintsugi is a form of art in Japan where they take a broken piece of pottery and they put it back together using an adhesive that has either gold or silver um, in it to make the pot beautiful, and it gives the pot extra life and it creates beautiful things. So this is our stamp set, and then there are dies that go with this. And in the first card, we'll be using some of these dies and some of the stamps. I forgot to get out the stamps, so let's do that. I think I put, You Inspire Me. You Inspire Me. And then what do I have on the inside? Thanks for helping. So let's get all these loaded up. Uh, I didn't load them pre-video start. I thought, well, you guys can see me load them once. Um, the best part is it's the polymer, and all you really have to do is, the easiest way, especially if it's in a long line, is to just set it down and then take a block and put it on there to bring it up. And so those are all set now. Let me put this off to the side, and let me show you this card. It is a fun fold. And I really love this fun fold. This is my envelope, very simple. It's just stamped. And you're going, well, Kelly, it's just a simple Z-fold card. Well, yes and no. So it comes like this, and that's great. But the beautiful part is this. This is used with the Designer Series paper, and we've just created one little secret spot for a little bit more. I just love this card. Very simple to do, and I think you'll enjoy it a lot. So let's get started. Let's look at what's in our kit. So in our kit, you should have your envelope, of course. You should have your Designer Series, your cardstock, cardstock, which is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. You do not have to do this scoring, by the way. You could just score here and then bend it backwards. So it's going to bend this way. And it's just half the distance. I'm going to grab a bone folder real quick and just reburnish my edges so they're nice and crisp. So that's one thing. You should have in your kit also 2 cut out pieces in Misty Moonlight, and these are cut with the Spotlight on Nature dies. And then you should have 2 whites that are also cut out of the Spotlight on Nature's dies, which I call these the paper plate dies because to me they look like paper plates, like the old white ones. And then you should have some beautiful pots or little cups. Those could be teacups or they could just be a little bowl, depending upon how you look at it. You should have some Designer Series paper. This piece of Designer Series paper right here, isn't that beautiful? I just think it's so gorgeous. This is 10.5 by 4, and it's scored at the 5 1/4, so it's going to lay right into your page. You should have a piece of white. Oops. a piece of white that is for your inside piece, and this measures 3¼ by 5, and this will get put in here for someplace to write. And then this piece here is going to be, mine shows 2¼ and it really should be 2 by 2.5, or 2 by 5¼ My goodness, I can't talk today. So let me get this sorted out. Actually, it should be 1 7/8. 1 7/8. So when I measure it wrong, we are just going to bring in our trimmer real quick. Hopefully this is in view of the camera. I'll bring it up a little bit. Let me just double check if we can see my measurements here. We can. Okay, let me get the cutting blade down. Let me put this at, it is at 2¼ right now. We want to take 1/4 inch off, which would make it 1 7/8. And whenever I'm cutting off just a little piece, I put my cutter blade up here and slide down. And now it should be the perfect size for our card. Let's bring this back in. And now it has a nice border when we put it on there. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there real quick. We'll do some stamping here in just a moment, but we're going to put this on first. So I'm going to bring in my adhesive and do my little Z thing that I do. Well, it's more like an eye on these pieces. Well, I guess it's a elongated Z, maybe. And I'm just going to put this on the outside of my card, giving about 1/8 inch border all the way around. And instead of showing it to the camera, I should watch what I'm doing so I don't have to lift it up. There we go. There we go. So that's pretty good. That's done. And now we're going to put this piece on the inside. And what I try to do is make it so that the flowers are going in the same direction. So if you look at this, right now the flowers, these flowers are going this way and up, which is how they should go. If they were going like this, I think it would look more like everything's going down and opposite of this. So I'm going to put it in this way, and flipping it over is going to give you that down. So flipping it back. So we're going to put our adhesive on here. This is going to be a big Z. And I'm going to just add a little bit because it's designer series paper. I want it to really settle down nicely on the inside of my card. Okay, and this should have approximately 1/8 inch border all the way around once you put it down. And we've already got all the fun folds in place. Isn't that nice? This piece is going to go on the inside. We'll go ahead and adhere that in. It's going to go in here, and it will have about 1/8 inch all the way around also. So let's take our adhesive here. So it's been raining here. I think Texas has made the national news for more than one reason lately. And my heart does go out to all of those who are suffering from all the flooding. Where I live, I have not had a lot of rain. One of my counterparts that I do cards with, she's had more rain at her house, and she's less than a mile from my front door. We're in the same neighborhood, she's just like a few streets over, and she hasn't gotten the rain. She's gotten more rain than I have. So that is pretty much it. This particular one is going to go on the inside as a decoration. So it can go down here in the bottom. So let's just put a little adhesive on that real fast. Just put a little X on there. And I will put it right here. Okay. So that part is done. And now let's do some stamping real quick. Okay, I also need my little flowers from out of here, and I didn't grab them before, so let me grab those. Just making sure I have all my bits and pieces. Bits and pieces, very important. Okay, there we go. So the front part of me, I just want to put this inspire me. So I'm going to stamp that up in that part of the circle. Move this over, put my stamp ink pad there. Now I always have to turn things at a corner, which is funny because this is a circle, so it's just whether or not I put it up in the upper part. I want to make sure I've got good ink on there, and I'm going to put that up towards the top. You inspire me. And that came out a little bit messy. So you know, when it's messy like that, let me show you a trick. Where did they go? It's here some, oh, it's under here. It's under here. This will cover that. So I'm going to re-stamp it up on this side and not press down quite as hard. And it'll cover up my boo-boo. There's always a way to get around it here. Okay, much better, much better. So while I'm thinking about this, I'm just going to grab my adhesive here, and I'm just going to cover up my boo-boo. So I remember that's what I want. I'm going to cover up my boo-boo right there. Boo-boo covered. So that's good. And then this is going to get put onto here. So we might as well do that while we've got our adhesive here. I kind of just do an X on here with it. And because it's a circle, you don't have to line up squares, but just try to get it in the middle of there equally. That looks good. So we've got one circle done. And let's get the other one done now. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to put my little flowers off to one side. So if we're looking at this, this is what we're doing here. Actually, I think I will do the thanks first, just on the outside chance that I need to put that in a different spot. So let me go right here, straight up, straight down. I said that backwards, straight down, straight up. I think I'm having a spoonerized day where you say everything backwards first. That's what I'm doing. Okay, that looks good. So I think we have all our stamping done, except for our envelope. And that was to put this guy on here. We better get that stamp out too. My goodness, I don't think I was very prepared. Well, I was, but I wasn't. I had everything near me, which is always a good thing. And let's create a beautiful envelope. No naked envelopes, no naked insides. Okay. I think my ink pad needs a little bit more ink, but for right now, we're doing good. I just have to make sure. One thing with the polymer stamps, which is really nice, you can see it if it's really inked well, so you don't have to guess if you've got ink on there. I don't guess much anyways, but you know, you don't have to wonder, put it that way. Okay, so we're done with that. Let's close up our ink pad that I like to wear all my inks. I love wearing ink, I guess. Stick my finger in it all the time. So let's get this adhered to our circle. Again, we're looking for that about 1/8 an inch. Just kind of center it in the middle of there. Okay. So now what we want to do is we want to put this on the front of our card. And I always put this one on first, and I'll show you why. So we want to put adhesive. This is the part that needs adhesive, is right here. So I'm going to put this here. Now I am not dimensionalizing or popping anything up, and the reason being is I feel this is thick enough, and I don't really want to pay extra postage, seeing how the postage just went up another nickel today, you know. So I'm going to just put a bunch of adhesive here, get it good and sticky, decide where I want it in my card. Okay, I want it about halfway. I want equal sides from each side. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so we got that one on. Now I need this one, the second one, to go on the inside. And quite frankly, all I do is put a lot of adhesive. You could use glue at this spot. A lot of times I do. But I decide how I want it to look. I want the thanks up at the top. And I match it up, matching it up with the top. And then I just set it down. And when I set it down, hopefully it's straight, nice and straight. Doesn't that look nice? And it wasn't hard at all. The trick is just matching them up together. Now you could go ahead and put this one down first in the middle and then adhere this to the top, but I've always done it this way. There are two ways. There's always another way to do something. But this is our card. Isn't that lovely? Quick, easy. I think the hardest part is just doing the die cuts, but if you have a cut and emboss machine and these dies, it goes really, really fast. And even the paper for this, you can use the dies on. Now, I actually did fussy cutting or cut them individually because I was cutting up a whole sheet, and it was easier to do it that way than to try and figure out how to get dies and cut it so it could go to the machine. But you can cut them out of there. So this is card number one. Card number one. Oh, you know what? Card number one looks good, but there's something missing. Oh, let's get out some bling. I'm missing bling. How can I miss bling? I love bling. I always put bling on. Some days I get ahead of myself. So on the front here, I have three. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I am going to stick one of these up here. One, I'm using a big one for up there. And then I'll put two on here. Like this. Okay. And then on the inside, I also had some bling. And I used the big one right in here. And a little one for right in here. Yep. So when it's closed, you see an odd number. When it's open, your hands pulled this over here and you're looking at this part, you see an odd number. This tells your body that your mind that this is correct, and then you have the inside. So I think we really do have it this time. So I want to thank you. I hope you enjoyed this card. If you did, please like and share and subscribe to my channel. That would be very nice. If you have friends, go ahead and share this with them. And if you would like to be part of my card kit, just drop me a message on the video here, and I will tell you how to get a card kit for the following month. Thank you again for watching, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.